Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Giovanni of High Local International Cafe Official, reminding you the English practice journey. I'll be with you in every step of your way. In this session, we'll be having IELTS speaking test practice. I'll give you tips and tricks. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so welcome back to our IELTS speaking test practice. We'll be having, as I said a while ago, the speaking test based on the format of the IELTS speaking test. This will be the speaking test part one, and it is based on the format of the IELTS speaking test. What is IELTS speaking test? It is International English Language Test System speaking test, and it is the first portion of the speaking test. What is this first portion? It'll be about you. Okay? It it is all about you, your personal opinion, your information. Okay? So, if I'm going to ask you some of your information, and if you don't want to share it with me, that's okay. You can just make up your answer. All right? Again, if you're not comfortable sharing your information because I will be asking you of your personal information, you can just make up your questions. Let's say I'll ask you about your father's job or your father's occupation. Let's say, what is your father's occupation? Then probably you don't want to share your information, your personal information, your father's information to me, then probably you can just say, my father's a carpenter, though your father is a doctor. Okay? Again, you just have to make up your answers. Okay? I'm not saying you have to lie to your examiner on that IELTS speaking test, but just for the sake of this practice, you just have to make your own answer. Okay? All right. So, are you ready for this IELTS speaking test practice? Give me thumbs up if you're ready. All right. So, this is the speaking test, and it is conducted in Local International Cafe Official. Examiners number 12345. Examinees number 23456. Name Ilmas. Hi, Ilmas. Hi, Ilmas. Your test is now starting, Ilmas. Hi, Ilmas. Okay, so maybe we'll just get back to Ilmas. All right, so Samar, are you ready now? Okay, so this is the speaking test conducted in High Local International Cafe Official. Examinees number 12345, name Samar. Examiners number 23456, Giovanni. All right, so hi, Samar. Okay. So, Summer, this is the part one, and I'll be asking you information about yourself or maybe a personal opinion. Okay? You can answer anytime you want. This is your first question. Do you work or study? Mm-hmm. Where are you from? Mm-hmm. Where are you from? Mm-hmm. So, how do you relieve your stress? Okay. So, do you live with your family or do you live alone? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How big is your family? Yeah, you can. Yeah, extended family. You're talking about your extended family. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, do you get along with your sister? Do you have a sister? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you get along with her, your sister? Okay. So here, Summer. You did a great job. Okay. But if you want to have a higher band score in IELTS speaking test, I want you for the first question. Okay. I asked you about, do you work or study, and um, I want you to use verb tenses, advanced verb tenses. Okay, not just a simple tense. You can make your simple sentence, but it should be compound. All right, or a complex sentence. If you use a simple sentence, I want you to make it. I want you to use at least advanced tense for you to have a higher band score. Okay, okay. Advanced. I mean advanced tenses um like I've been studying, something like that. Okay, so you have to use like a present um perfect continuous tense, right? Okay, and also for that, where are you from? You don't just say your city. Okay, you can make a simple but compound or complex sentence. Let's say you're from Tokyo. Okay, you don't just say, oh, I'm from Tokyo. You can say, I'm from a big city, from the capital city of I'm from the capital city of Japan, which is Tokyo. All right. So you don't just say Japan or whatever city it is. Okay. Okay, Summer, you did great. All right, you did great. This is just a part one, and we'll have the part two after this session. All right, and thank you so much, Summer. Congratulations. All right, now let's have Frieza. Hi, where are you from, Frieza? Hi, Frieza. Hi, hi, hi. Frieza. Hi, Frieza. I'm better and better. Okay. So, are you ready for this IELTS speaking test practice? This is just a practice, but yeah. All right. So, again, this is a practice, but it is a format based on the IELTS speaking test. Okay. So, I'll be asking you some personal information. If you're not comfortable sharing your information, you can just make up your answers. Okay. Okay. All right. So, this is the IELTS speaking test, part one, section one, ex- conducted in High Local International Cafe Official, examinees number 2323, exam name, Frieza, examiners number 12345, Giovanni. All right, so let's start your part one. Maybe I'll be asking you some of your information. If you're comfortable, just say it to me, okay? This is the part one. Do you work or study? Mhm. What is the most interesting part of your work? What is the most interest? I mean, what is the most challenging part of your work? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's talk about your family. How big is your family? Hmm. Do you get along with your sister? Do you get along well with your sister? What do you and your family like to do together? All right. All right. So thank you so much, Fraser. Oh yeah. Okay. So thank you so much. All right. I'll give you a round of applause now. Okay, so you did a great job actually a while ago, but this is just my tip for you, okay? Don't rattle, all right? Just relax. Don't be nervous because your pronunciation is so good now, and you already have that advanced verb tenses that you can use. So probably you can get a high band score on your IELTS if you haven't taken your IELTS. Have you taken your IELTS? Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah, I think you are ready. Okay, you just don't be nervous. Just calm yourself, okay? Because you're rattling. Mm-hmm. Yes, but you really have to calm yourself, okay? Because one of the criteria in our IELTS speaking test is the fluency. And fluency will be affected if you're being nervous, okay? When you're rattling. A while ago, at the first part of our test, you are flawless. You have this flawless continuous answering the questions. And the latter part of this test, you've become like there are so many it is okay to say um but not necessarily every time you say something because you're getting nervous and later you're getting nervous and nervous and nervous and gradually it's progressing, right? It's gradually progressing. Okay, because maybe a while ago you're thinking that, oh, I may not be nailing this one, I may not kill this speaking test, right? So you just have to calm yourself and don't get nervous because you know you already have this great enunciation pronunciation. Probably examiner, the real examiner, would say that you have this great pronunciation. He or she will give you 9 points for that. Perfect score, okay? So don't worry about your enunciation pronunciation. Just calm yourself and don't be nervous. All right? Congratulations again. Yeah. All right. Now let's have Mudik, hi. Hi, Mudik. Hi. All right, so Mudik, have you taken your IELTS already? Mm-hmm. When do you plan to take it? Okay. Oh, IELTS is an international English language test system. It is used for immigration, for if you want to work or study abroad, they need this IELTS test, IELTS certification. All right. Okay. So now, are you ready for the IELTS speaking test practice? Okay. So this is the IELTS speaking test conducted in high local international cafe official. examinees number 23456, name Mujik. Examiners number 12345, name Giovanni. Okay, so Mujik, this is your part one, and I'll be asking you some personal information. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so do you work or study? Mm-hmm. What is the challenging part of your study? Mm-hmm. Where are you from, by the way? All right. So now let's talk about pets. Do you have a pet, Marie? Yeah. Do you have a pet? Yeah. Do you have a pet like cat or dog in your house? Mm-hmm. What do you think of the people taking pets in their house? Okay. So if you're given a chance to have a pet, what animal would it be? All right. Okay. Okay. Congratulations. All right, so here. The first part will be like, do you work or study? I really like when you say like I've been. You use already that I've been. You already have that advanced verb tenses. That means you'll be probably get a 9 band score for that. All right? But the latter part of those questions, you use simple tenses like I'm from and then your city. You may have said like I'm from a big city, like blah 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 blah. Okay, rather than I'm from and then directly to that city. Okay, you have to have a simple sentence. However, it is compound or complex. All right, Morid. I hope that you do understand that. It could be a simple sentence, but compound or complex. I mean, one sentence, not simple. One sentence, but compound or complex. Okay. All right. All right. So thank you so much, Murid. Okay. Thank you. Now let's have other people in our speaking area. Otherwise, we'll be having the next session. I'll be just closing this if you don't come up. Okay. Hi, Zara. Hi, hi, hi. Are you ready for your IELTS speaking test practice? All right. So have you taken your IELTS already or you're planning to do so? As you wish. Okay, as I wish. All right. So this international English language test system is used for immigration. If you want to go abroad, if you want to study abroad, or if you want to work abroad, then probably you have to consider taking this IELTS test, okay? This examination. And one of those examination is the speaking test. And there are three parts of the speaking test. Part 1, part 2, and part 3. This is the part 1. You'll be asked about your personal information. Okay? So Zara, I'll be asking some personal information, but if you're not comfortable sharing your personal information, you can just make up your answers, okay? Okay. So, ready? All right. So this is the examination. This is the IELTS examination speaking test portion. Examinee number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Name Zara. Examiners number 1, 2, 3. Giovanni. Okay. So do you work or study? What is the most interesting about your major? Mhm. What is the most interesting about commerce? Why did you take up commerce? Okay, so how do you find your course? Is it hard or easy? How do you find your major? How do you find commerce? Is it easy or hard? Okay, so let's talk about your family. hmm How big is your family? You have brother, right? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So, how do you get along with your family? How do you get along well with your family? Yeah, how do you get along with your family? How do you spend your time with your family? Okay. So, what are the fondest memory with your family? Or silly? What? Yeah, fundiest. Fondest. What are the silly or crazy things that you do with your family? Yeah, sure. If you want to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what is the silliest thing that you have done? Hello, Sarah. Hello. Okay. So, Zara did maybe if she's here, I'll be giving her an advice to give more information about herself. Okay, don't just use simple tenses. Don't just make one sentence, but simple. I want you all to make your sentence, even it's one sentence, it is compound and complex. Again, make your one sentence compound and complex. Okay, you know the compound sentence and complex sentence, it is composed of two um, sentences, complete sentence, and another connected by a conjunction and or because. Okay, so you have to use compound or complex sentence until those conjunctions, and yeah, you have to use compound or complex sentences to have a high band score. All right, and don't ever say just one word. If someone asks you if it is a yes no question, you the examiner is expecting you to answer not just one or not just yes, but a whole sentence, a full answer. Okay? Now, hi Gandara. Are you ready for IELTS test? All right. So this is your speaking test practice. This is the format. This is based on the IELTS speaking test format. Okay. All right. So before we start, where are you from, by the way? Hmm. Let me think. You're from. Hmm. Oh, you're from the Philippines. Okay. All right. So this is the IELTS speaking test for you. This is conducted in IELTS speaking test part one, conducted in high local international cafe official examinees number 23456, examiner number 12345. All right. So let's start your examination. Hmm. Hmm. Do you work or study? Do you work or study? Yeah. Do you work or study? Hmm. All right. So what is the most interesting about your major? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now, let's talk about your family. If you're not comfortable saying your telling your personal information, you can just make up answers, okay? Mhm. Let's talk about your family. How big is your family? How big is your family? Mhm. Do you have brother or sisters? Mhm. Okay. How do you get All right. Mhm. How do you get along with your sister? How do you get along? How do you spend your time with your sister? Mhm. Okay. So what do you do with your family? What do you do with your family? All right. So what do you do every weekend with your family? Okay. So what would you change about your childhood? Mm-hmm. What would you change about your childhood? All right. Okay. So that ends our outspeaking test for you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So guys, you don't just answer like one word. You have to answer them with a simple but concrete answer, okay? And also you have to use complex or compound sentences. Again, and don't laugh at your examiner, okay? Don't laugh at your examiner. Treat them as your buddy, but never ever laugh at them, okay? Thank you so much. Now, let's have Marwa. All right. Hello. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. So this time you'll be having your IELTS speaking test practice. This is based on the IELTS speaking test practice one format, okay? So I'll be asking you some personal information, but if you're not comfortable sharing your information, then you can just make up your answers. All right? Okay. So this is high local international. I mean, let's just do that again. Out speaking test conducted in high local international cafe official. Examinee number 2345. Marwa. Examiners number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Giovanni. Hi, where are you from? Do you work or study? Mhm. What is the most interesting about your major? I mean, work. Oh, so you're working and studying at the same time, right? So how do you relieve your stress since you have these two jobs, being a student and being a worker? So how do you relieve your stress? All right. So now let's talk about your family. All right. Again, this um, if you don't want to share about your personal information or you're not comfortable sharing this in high local, you just have to make up your stories. We're just testing your fluency, your pronunciation, and everything else categorized in the IELTS speaking test. Okay. So yeah, if you're not comfortable sharing your information, then probably you just have to make up question. I mean, and answers. Okay. Now let's talk about family. How big is your family? Hmm. So how do you get along with your siblings? How do you get along well with your siblings? Okay, so what is the fondest memory of your childhood? What do you and your family like to do together? All right, so that's the end of our speaking test part one, and I'll get back to you, okay? No, I will not get back to you. All right, so here's the tip and tricks. So I asked you about where you're from, right? It is the part of your examination. Where you're from, and you said I'm from Tunisia. Okay, here, guys. If you're having the IELTS examination, you just don't just answer one word, two words, or three words. Okay, you don't just say I'm from Tunisia. You have to impress your examiner. You have to make a compound or a complex sentence, even just for that question. Let's say you're from Tokyo. You can say, I'm from a big city. I'm from the big capital city. I'm from the capital city of Tokyo, Japan. It is a big city in Japan, Tokyo. You can say that, okay? Make a complex compound sentence. If you having a simple sentence, then probably you don't just say I'm from Tunisia. I'm from a big city, um, and then you have to say I'm from a big city in the southern part of Tunisia, which is a blah blah. Okay? Did you understand? You have to make a simple sentence, but not just two or three. Okay, you don't just say I'm from Tunisia. Okay, you have to impress with the first sentence or with the first question of your examiner. You have to impress them with your advanced verb tenses. You may answer them. I've been living in the southern part of this southern part of Tunisia or central part of Tunisia. It is a big city there, which is Ganesha, whatever. Okay. All right. So you had to make advanced. You have to use advanced tenses at the beginning of this part one. And I asked you about, do you work or study? It is really impressive because you already said I've been studying something something, and you already use that. But with the first question, you don't just use three words in your sentence, okay? And also, you had to enunciate your words clearly. This is for everyone, not just for Marwa. This is for everyone. I want you all to have great enunciation. Don't rush in. Just calm yourself. Don't get nervous. If you want to say something, just pause if you don't know what to say, and then don't stutter. Just like this one. Don't just stutter. All right. Okay. So at the last portion of this IELTS speaking test for hello. What? What did you not understand? Oh, which part? I already said many things. Okay, so again, um, for the first part, for the first question, you don't use just one word, two words, or three words. Okay, make a compound sentence. You already know what is compound sentence. You have to use and or but whatever conjunctions. Okay, complex sentences you have to use it as well. Also, for the second question, do you live? Do you work or study? You did a great job because you already used that. I've been studying something something. Okay, so you did a great job with that one. And for the latter part, however, don't stutter. If you have been so nervous, or just calm yourself, you can say to your examiner, "Can I just breathe in? Okay, can I just breathe in and breathe out, and then breathe in, and then let's continue." Okay, you can say that to your examiner. All right. Can I take a deep breath for a while before we continue? All right. So you can say that. And then take a deep breath and all right, so I'm ready. Okay. And don't stutter. You can use but don't say so many times and not too long. Okay? And do not stop. Fluency is really important. There are seven category or criteria in giving you a high band score. One is the pronunciation, and I want you to have that as well. All right, not just for Marwa, but all of you. I want you to enunciate your word. It is not about the accent, but it is about pronunciation. How you enunciate your words, how you clearly um deliver your words to your examiner. Okay, that is pronunciation. It is not about the accent. Okay, it is not about the accent. Your accent is good. All our accents are good. It is amazing. Okay, fluency. A while ago, you started, Marwa. I don't want you to stutter because that will be your weakness. If you stutter, we stutter, right? We all stutter, but don't stutter regularly or religiously. Like my father uh uh okay. So you really have to practice okay, having release that, okay, release that uh okay. And those are two parts, two category, the fluency and pronunciation, and I'll be talking about that in our next session about other criteria in giving you a high band score. All right, thank you so much. Now let's have Jinjin. Jinjin, are you ready for your out speaking test? Yeah. You won't hear this is on the spot speaking test, so you won't see it, you won't hear it from other. Okay, this will be your first time to hear it. All right. So are you ready? Of course, if you're taking, yeah, but if you're taking an IELTS speaking test, you will not be given a question, right? It's on the spot. Okay. Ah, yeah. Okay. So again, um, this is a personal, for part one of IELTS speaking test, it'll be about you, personal information. But Jinjin, you can just make up your answers. If your father is a doctor, you can say, my father is a carpenter. Okay? So you just have to make up your answers. Just to test your fluency, your pronunciation, and all other criteria for the IELTS speaking test. All right? So ready? Okay. So let's have the IELTS speaking test conducted in High Local International Cafe Official. Examinees number 2456, Jinjin. Examiner number 12345, Jinfiani. Hi, where are you from? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you work or study? What was the struggle in your previous company? What was the most challenging part of your work in your previous company? Mm-hmm. All right. So how do you relieve your stress? I'm sure you're stressed in your work, right? So how do you relieve your stress? Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about family. How big is your family? All right. So how do you get along with your family with your children? All right. Okay. So what are the fondest memory of your childhood? All right. So congratulations, Jinjin. All right. So here, Jinjin, this is my tips and tricks. If they ask you a question like "Where are you from?" answer it directly. Okay. Don't say my name is Jinjin. I'm from something something. I'm 28 years old. I'm been working like no. You have to answer the question directly. All right. I live, I've, I've lived, or I have lived, or I lived in a big city, or something like that. Okay. So directly answer the question. Don't say anything else. Don't make more information because they have a lot of questions too that you may use those information to those other questions. Okay. All right. And your pronunciation's great now. You did a great job with your enunciation. They may give you a high band for your pronunciation, but let me have you your the sound and for other sounds, okay? Especially with like the E, the A, okay? So work on those sounds because they may give you a half band negative to that. Okay. All right. But you did great. You already have that fluency. Okay. One more thing. You have to expand your vocabulary. When I say what are the fundus, what do you mean by fundus? Do you know what is fundus? Does anyone know what is fundus? Memory, fundus memory of childhood. Fundus. Meaning fun is silly or crazy things that you memorable things that you silly things that you do in your childhood. All right? That is fundus. Fundus. Silly, crazy, something like that. All right? Crazy memory about your childhood. Fundus. All right? But you still did great because you already have maybe if I'm the examiner, I'll give you a high band in your fluency because you already have that. Okay. One more thing, uh, not just for Jinjin, but for all of us who will be taking. I've taken my IELTS, and yeah, if you want to know my IELTS band, then probably you have to attend my IELTS course. Okay, I'll give you my band there. I'll reveal my band in that IELTS course. Okay, now if you want to have a high band, you have to have this three categories. I'll be revealing the three categories. Okay, vocab, high vocabulary range, fluency. What is fluency? The coherence, how you connect your sentences to other sentences, fluency. Also, don't stutter. That is fluency. Don't stutter. You can stutter, you can say but not too much, okay? Not regularly. Pronunciation is different from in accent. Pronunciation, meaning the clarity of your words. Okay, guys? Clarity of our words. Now, if you don't understand a word or the question, then probably the examiner would say, oh, this examinee has a low vocab range. But you can say, could you just repeat your question, but never ask him or her to rephrase or paraphrase his question? You have to answer. Maybe some of you will ask me, what if I don't really understand the question? Then probably you really have a low band score then. All right? Sad thing, right? So we are here to help you. There are many trainers here that will be having IELTS speaking tests, IELTS listening tests, IELTS examination practices. So we will conduct that, and probably you consider having a full course with us. All right. Now, do we still have time? Okay. So we still have 6 minutes left, and we'll have our next participant. Oh, Laddie. Hi, 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 Laddie. All right. Laddie, Almost. Bun. Hi, Bun. Hi, where are you from, Bun? Oh, Philippines. Okay, so Bun, would you like to have the IELTS test before we take the part two? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the IELTS speaking test practice. So if you don't want to share your personal information because I'll be asking personal information. You can just make up answers, okay? Okay. So now, speaking test conducted in high local international cafe official, examining number 2345, examiner number 12345. Let's start. Hi, where are you from? Do you work or study? Mhm. What is the most interesting about your work? Do you find your work stressful? All right, so now let's talk about your family. How big is your family? All right, so do you have brothers or sisters? How do you get along with them? Okay, so what are some of your fondest memory in your childhood, of your childhood? All right, so what do you do and your family like to do in your spare time? All right. Congratulations. That is the end of our part one. Okay. So we'll be having the part two of the IELTS speaking test. It'll be about your opinion. Opinion about topics or topic cards. Okay. It'll be about all about your opinion. Now, let's go back to Bun. All right. So you did a great job, Bun. I really like how you answer that. Where are you from? You say I'm from the summer capital of the Philippines, Baguio City. Okay, I really like how you answer that. Now, for the second question, do you work or study? Okay, so you can use hello. Yeah, you can use simple sentence. However, maybe you can make that more advanced. Okay, more advanced. I mean, you have to use more advanced tenses. Like I've been working as a nurse for 8 years now or 10 years now, and yeah, something like that. You have to use advanced tenses, and your enunciation of your words is great. Okay, some of the words might be improved, can be improved. Okay, we can improve your enunciation, pronunciation with that, but accent is really good. We don't have problem with the accent, and it is not part of the criteria when we are judged by the examiner or being given a high score or low score. Accent is not part of the criteria. Again, this is the three parts. I mean, three criteria: vocabulary range, fluency, and pronunciation. With your fluency, it's somehow good. Maybe they will give you an average score for your fluency. Okay, never ever worry about your pronunciation. You did great. All right, now, yeah, thank you so much. All right, so everyone, we will be having the part 2, and part 2 is about your opinion about anything, any topic that will be flashed on the whiteboard. All right, I'll explain the part 2 in that session. So I'll see you there. Okay, this has been Giovanni of High Local International Cafe Official, reminding you the English practice journey. I'll be with you in every step of your way. I'll see ya. Bye bye for now.